Maayong udto kanatong tanan. The gospel in which we heard today is actually a continuation of the gospel yesterday, where the Lord yesterday reminded us of who we are, the identifying mark of all those who follow Jesus, and that is our love for one another. We are known not by what we believe, but we are known of our love, our actions of compassion and charity towards others. And here, another aspect of this commandment of love, we are told that there is such a close relationship between love and our act of obedience. When Jesus said in our gospel today, "Whoever has my commandments and observes them is the one who loves me." However, this is always an issue when it comes to obedience. But our obedience that is founded on love is not a kind of obedience that is not founded on a strong conviction. Or we may say, this is not a blind obedience, that we are just following because of the coercion of power and authority. If not, we have to obey because of the things we get out of obeying this person. Ato ni siyang sundon oy kay aron ta mahatagan o daghan nga pabor, no? But here we try to see and reflect on that very strong connection between love and obedience, where indeed when we obey God, it is based on the strong conviction that what God commands are always for the good of the self. Nothing that God commands that will destroy us. Nothing that what God commands would somehow put us into a self-destructive tendencies. But everything that God commands would always for our own good. That is for our fulfillment. That is for our purpose. If not, the kind of meaning that we are supposed to live by obeying God, we can actually find these things. Outside of this are all but wandering in life without any point, without any purpose, without any direction. Sometimes outside of this would lead to self-destruction. Secondly, when we obey God, it is based on the conviction that we are entering into a communion with God who commands us, not just of fulfilling a tasks, but entering into a fellowship of God when we obey Him. When we know that doing what God commands, this is actually surrendering ourselves so that we can come into an encounter and communion with God. We are one with the God who commands us. We are one with the God who desires goodness for us. This is a fellowship. This is a communion with God. And lastly, when we obey God, this is actually finding joy in our hearts. When God said that if you obey me, you have your joy in you. And when we obey the Lord, there is always the joyfulness that the world cannot offer. Only the joy that God, that He alone can give, that the resurrected Christ can only give. The joy that radiates from within because of that love that we have found in God. And when we obey, we are also professing our love to God who loves us first. Then therefore we continue to search the will of God so that we put ourselves into it. And obedience that is based on a strong conviction that is for our own good, with the obedience based on the conviction that this is our fellowship with the Lord, and obeying with the conviction that this will offer us the true joy the joyfulness from within that the world cannot offer, that only Jesus, the risen Lord, can give to us. Amen.